Here we go. Now we're going to let's disassemble the blue machine while I talk about, we have some news about the contest. You got to wait to the very end. You'll see that. That's super good. And we also have news about the base that's coming up and just a couple this and that. But let's just prep this. We're going to pop the base off the blue machine. Let's take off the wand and a couple parts here. So, because we're going to redo it. That base has gotten kind of worked over, but the machine's in good shape. And we're going to use like the method from last time when we took the bottom off. But I'm going to show you this little tool I made originally just from before I got my big heavy duty one that I just made from a little pipe fitting. So that thing works really good. Let's get our screws ready. I've been just using the little angle iron because it really is one of the better things to hold it just in the vise. And there you go, tighten it down. Remember the two little number 10s and also the rubber washer so that it gets in there good. And it has a little bit of play, I think works good. If you're doing anything harsh, watch that boiler, you don't bend it or anything. But we'll just pop the wiring off. I just use a little needle nose and work them and carefully pull them so you don't break a tab or lessen the life of something by being too rough on it. But firm. This is mostly the original wiring. It has that, it's a fiberglass coating or something, the old school white ones that look pretty good, but that's on here. We'll pop all these off. And we'll save them. We might redo some of the wiring because we have some nice new wires, so we'll see what happens there, but we'll pry these babies off. And then that, like I said, the base is coming. I got the heating element in, and we'll get ready to make a big order with Tudor and get the other parts we need. Probably a lever's the one thing I don't have. I wish I did. I have a couple broken ones, but you saw those. I don't know if I'm going to try to fix one and switch it around, but I'll probably end up just ordering a new one. Just to start out, this machine I built will probably be my most elaborate and probably the most expensive, maybe the most valuable expensive one just from the extra parts, but it'll be pretty good. And that one's going to be really nice. I have a bunch of plans for it and a couple little custom things. Anuta will pick the color. She may have already picked the color for the base. We're going to make it something real machiney and industrial and heavy duty looking just from the type of machine it's going to be. And we're almost here with the wiring. We got that popped off and the screws out, and there's the elements. It's in pretty good shape. I just descaled this machine just before I took it apart. And we'll check that gasket. I'll probably replace it, but it didn't look too bad. But you don't want to have any seal trouble. We'll take out that little flathead screw. That's the grounding wire from the cord. That's one thing nice about this particular tightening ring. Some of them have that little spot, so you can go ahead and hook your ground wire to it. Otherwise, I hook it to the base, tra-la-la, that's what I do. And there we go, we got the switch out. Get this cord out. I'm going to re-drill this hole to make it bigger. We're going to put in the better wiring and grommets and everything. And we'll go ahead and get this thing out of here. And I'm going to cut the little nibs off. Those are old ones. We're going to put some new high temp ones. I have a little better ones now. But those lasted 10 years. I think I put those originally when I first did this machine so long ago. But there we go. We got all that out. Now we're going to go ahead and get that ring out. And that's where we use my little magic tool. This one I made. I have a nice tool I bought just because it's so much better for tightening too. But this thing I made, if you just need to do it once in a while, and it's just a 4x3, sewer pipe adapter, ABS adapter, whatever that you're going to use it for. It's a new one. Don't find a used one. But anyway, I tried two different holes. The lower ones were more stable. The upper ones weren't that great of an idea. It didn't make it as stable. But you hold it on. I just made it with a piece of string and a template. I just saw where I needed the notches, and I just used a piece of string and two little dowels and cut like that. took a few seconds, and I made this thing years ago, and it's kept working. I probably could make the cuts a little more precise and fancy, but things work like a gem. This one is a little tight. You can see a lot of these old boilers, they have a tight spot as you go. So just remember when you do that sometimes, as long as you haven't cross-threaded in the beginning, no cross-threading, you'll be set. But you may hit tight spots that you got to kind of work past because they may not be as perfectly round as you may imagine. Anyway, I think the rings are still round. They're pretty heavy duty, but anyway, there we go. We got that ring off. We'll get that little spacer gasket. There it is. That one's intact, but we'll probably replace those. They get a little brittle too over time. And now we'll make sure everything's steady, and there it goes, right off. And there we have it. There's one more spacer gasket. Yeah, that one broke. See, yeah, you really need to replace them. They get old. There's another pop from 4th of July, but anyway, it's been pretty calm. Machine apart. Now, we got the switch, still good. And all the old wiring, and we may redo a lot about that, but we have a couple things of news. The brand new base, well, it's not a new base, used base is coming. I guess the money wasn't gambled away. I may have had a pre-jump, but it is coming supposedly, but we'll see that when it comes. So that's good news, and it's there. So that's really good news. I ended up doing a couple things. I even got my old Tramp 3 to work. This thing is 35 years old or something, but that's kind of neat. You kind of would fill this with beans. And last time I showed you guys this thing, it didn't work too good, but I did get it to work. And then you put some beans in there, and then you put that on. Let's just take those last beans out so we can see if that does grind up. This thing is really old. It was, God, I don't know how much, 9, 7, it's a long time ago I bought this thing. But it does work. I realize you can adjust it with a little tiny flathead. So let's see what it did here. Is he wrong? No, but I think it did work. Yeah. Shoot, it's not bad either. I could probably adjust it a little finer, but heck, that thing does work after all, which is pretty good. Anyway, that's kind of a neat news thing. And then we got the stainless steel for the new machine we're building with the bases on its way. So that's good. And then since we're redoing the blue machine, here's its I like these a lot better. This is its brass heating element. This is the old school. This one's working good, so we'll be continuing to use it when we rebuild the blue machine. We did get you saw we got the base off, so here it is. It can use some work. It's kind of rusting, kind of wore away, and I'm going to drill a new hole too here so that it's a little bigger. I can put a better cord in, but it just really get that little nugget out there. That thing wasn't that great, but anyway, so there it is. I'm going to drill that bigger so we can put a little better wiring and the paint. So I'll sand this down, and this is one of the old emblems. Let's see. There it is. Little wires break off all the time, but yeah, there it is. So we'll probably glue that back on this time. The little wires are really old and fragile. I didn't expect them to stay on. They've been removed and put on once, but there it is. So we'll redo. This isn't going to be for the new machine, but we're going to redo the blue one while we wait for that to come in. We got everything for it. Here's the fine thread. These things are nice. That's one of the holy grails, but they're starting to make aftermarket ones, luckily. With these, I have the screws. The screws are longer than you use for a stainless steel. That's one thing. So that's going good. And that heating element will go on there. So we're almost set. And that's about it. I switched over my The machine we made last time, I did switch to a new spring for the safety release. It works a little better, about the same, but that's about it. And we have the blue machine disassembled, so I'll get the base all painted up and done. And then next show, we'll just reassemble that one and see what other parts came in. Probably going to have to order a handle for the new machine. That's the only thing. And we'll get a list and we'll call that tutor guy and put in a big order, and we'll see what he says about that. Anyway, that's all we're going to do today. It's 4th of July. We're kind of hiding out, staying safe. Poor Dewey is in his cage. He doesn't appreciate fireworks too much. It's a little calmer today than it on occasion gets. Yeah, the law enforcement isn't too big on enforcing illegal fireworks. But 4th of July isn't a big deal here in Hawaii as much as New Year's gets insane. But so there's just a pop, and it's really mellow. We're staying home today. Probably take a little bike ride later, but that's our news. We're hiding out. We're not virus deniers here, I'll tell you that. Yeah, anyway. So have a good, fun day, and that's it. You saw us take apart the machine, and the next one's on its way. I'm going to go make a coffee right now. Right there. All right, that's it. And here's the big news. The contest, Ute had the idea of we're going to have 10 winners once we have 100 subscribers. 10 people are going to win. One's going to be a grand prize. So that's like 1 in 10, much better odds. But 10 people are going to get a excellent, epic coffee gift. So go ahead and subscribe and like. And yeah, it's going to be really cool. And you will get a 1 out of every 10. There'll be 10 prizes now just to make it more fun.